up, you guys? Welcome to Critique the Critics, the show that asks the question, if a movie critic was on a desert island and stranded, would they still write reviews just to hear themselves talk? We're going to make fun of a stupid movie review about Castaway starring Tom Hanks. My name is Tech.
And I'm Kojak.
Yes. Like I said, we are talking about Castaway today, specifically because Tom Hanks is all over the news because of the coronavirus. And we were like, out of respect for him being awesome,
we found a movie where he quarantined himself on accident.
On accident, exactly. So we're going to take a look at audience reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. We're going to tell you some incredibly fake facts. But first, we're going to look at a professional critic's review of Castaway.
Who we have reviewed before. Mick LaSalle.
Yep, we recall you. He said with an element of disdain in his voice.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So Hanks adrift in Castaway.
Let's take a look.
Looks like when it came out, December 22nd, 2000.
Yeah, I think it's when the movie came out.
Yeah. So go.
All right. Castaway is a laugh-out-loud delight. Easily the funniest picture since South Park.
Isn't this bringing back memories?
Yeah, I do not like this guy. Does that mean there were no comedies from South Park to this movie?
No.
Okay, that's why.
South Park invented comedy.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
It will bring joy to audiences, though not in the way it was intended. How do you know it was intended? As an uplifting tale of the human spirit. Instead, it will bring joy in a way certainly not intended. As one of the most gloriously and unwittingly silly films ever devised by a major American filmmaker. Still, joy is joy, so even if Tom Hanks and director Robert Zemeckis had no idea they were making a comedy, we shouldn't hold that against them. What are you talking about? I can't wait for your explanation as to why Castaway is a comedy. First off. Also, I hate the fact that you're deciding what the intention of a movie is because critics love to do that. Because unless the director went, my intention with this movie was this to you, you don't know shit.
This is just all of Mick LaSalle's bad juju back at it again.
Exactly.
We're having PTSD already. We've probably what?
I don't know.
At least a dozen of his reviews.
Easily. He's always so bad.
That and that Rex guy. I just forgot his last name.
And Richard.
Yeah.
Bad movies are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. This time we get Tom Hanks as a FedEx exec who becomes an inadvertent slapstick comedian after he washes up on a desert island. So, are you taking person who's been stranded and starts kind of going insane because they've been on an island by themselves and they're trying to survive and they have no one to talk to as slapstick? Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Three Stooges are actually just one of them with multiple personalities.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, that could be like every comedy ever made. It turns out. I mean, that's absolutely insane.
Now I want to see that.
Also, having an element of humor in a movie doesn't make it a comedy.
No.
But let's be honest, he's going nuts and trying to survive.
Yeah. But now I want to see a dark comedy about the Three Stooges where Harry is the only one and the other two are figments of his imagination. Larry?
Early or Mo?
Either of them.
All right. One of the three, or I guess four if you have Shemp. Who replaced Curly.
Yeah. But yeah, now I want to see that. Like a dark comedy.
Do it. Make it happen. It could be the next Castaway.
Danny DeVito.
In the Three Wilsons. Hanks had the original idea for the film, which, from an actor's point of view, had to be irresistible. It was his own idea was irresistible. Man, what kind of narcissist do you think Tom Hanks is? It's like, man, I had this idea. Do I want to have sex with myself right now over this idea? What better way to go for a third Oscar than to spend most of a movie as the only human being on screen? I don't know, just acting really good.
Yeah.
You could do that. I hear that works pretty well.
I've heard.
Yeah. You don't even have to act to get an Oscar, turns out.
No, sometimes all you got to do is make 3 movies, and they'll just give you the one to the third.
Mm-hmm. There's directors that get them.
Mm-hmm.
You can poke around with lights and shit and get Oscars.
Yeah.
Probably. They need lights in the movies.
I've heard.
He already has been nominated for a Golden Globe. Oscars next. Oh. And what better way to prove one's seriousness than by losing over 50 pounds and acquiring lots of facial hair? 90 minutes in, Hanks is hairier than a community theater John Baptist. He's like, I need an analogy. Stat. Tom, I need an analogy. He's got like his own analogy guy that works for him. He's like, John Baptist? Better.
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist. All right.
Okay.
We're almost there. Community theater, John?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we got it. Great.
Can I go home, Mick? It's been months.
Nope.
I haven't seen my family.
Nope. Haven't said the entire plot of this film and ripped it apart enough yet. I may need another analogy that I can't think of myself.
Now get me my tea, wench.
Zemeckis is a capable director, so despite the misguided concept, the movie is anything but inept. In fact, the 30 minutes that lead up to Hank's island ordeal are well done. First of all, there's the plane crash, and what a crash it is. Chuck is traveling on a cargo jet. The plane hits some bumpy air. He gets up, looks around, goes into the bathroom, and a second later, he's hanging sideways out of the bathroom, holding on by his fingernails.
Those are some strong fingernails.
Yeah.
Tom, what's your care routine?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could have left at that point.
I like how, first of all, there's the plane crash, and what a crash it is like describing a dress he saw on the red carpet.
Yeah, exactly. Tom looks great in his crash this evening. Tom, who are you wearing? Delta
and FedEx.
Nervous flyers will revisit the plane crash sequence in their nightmares. It's harrowing. The plane hits the ocean and breaks up. From there, our hero struggles to get to the ocean surface. And once there, he has to contend with fuel fires while trying to avoid getting sucked into the engine. In retrospect, Hank's getting sucked into the engine might have made for a nifty finish. Oh, shut up. Come on. Literally instead of figuratively casting him away in pieces of flesh and sinew. Instead, he washes up on the island, and this is where the fun starts, he said sarcastically. Look, I'm not going to disagree with you. That was an amazingly well done plane crash. That was a crazy scene, but also not the point. And apparently he didn't find the plane crash funny, so it can't all be comedy in this movie.
He's treating the plane crash like his little LBD.
Yep. It's like his little black dress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For the island scenes, Zemeckis employs a novel strategy in his use of sound. He lets the island speak for itself. There's no music track, which makes complete and utter sense.
Right.
Because the whole point is to have a stranded feel, solitude. I mean, it's just him. Just the island noises and the ebb and flow of the ocean. Zemeckis' realistic strategy works at first, and then it backfires, creating the feel of one of those making of shorts. What? Like making of what?
I don't know.
Like making of a movie or making of fire?
Fire.
Soon it becomes impossible to forget that we're watching a millionaire actor stumbling around, pretending to be alone, while within 3 feet of a camera crew, a dressing room, and a hot lunch. Really? We have to pretend it's a movie? That's what watching movies is. You have to pretend they're not face to face with the camera that's right in front of their face. That's movie magic. That's what a movie is. You review movies. That's a little frustrating.
No, I couldn't tell how you felt.
That's so stupid. It's like, oh, this idiot in his fucking 40s is pretending like he's on an island in this movie about being on an island. What an idiot. What is he? An actor or an idiot? Am I right, kids? You gotta be. That's the dumbest.
It is.
That hurt. That hurts his soul. Remember how in the old Laurel and Hardy movies, Laurel would always accidentally do something to cause Hardy physical injury, and Hardy would always let out a painful wail? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In every one of those movies, it would eventually get to the point where audiences actually looked forward to the ridiculous sound of Hardy screaming. Well, something like that happens with Hanks in Castaway. What? I don't know where you're going with this.
I guess we're about to find out.
I guess we're going to find out. Because I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
Our hero cuts his thigh on a rock. He tries to build a fire and slices the skin off his hands. Or he tries to pull an infected tooth with an ice skate. He screams, then faints. I haven't laughed so hard in months. I will agree that there was an element of comedy in that moment.
And in trying to like get the tooth out with the skate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, in all of those moments, trying to do things and failing, and like him kind of like
right.
there were elements of if there's elements of comedy in a drama, it doesn't make it a comedy.
And knowing Mick and what we've read of him before, this is all made up. He sat silently with a notebook, looking at maybe 40% of the movie, while writing the rest.
Yes, for sure. Castaway turns out to be a picture in which Hank spends 45 minutes talking to a volleyball. It's a spirited relationship. You haven't lived until you've seen Hanks covered in hair, apologizing to a volleyball or weeping because his volleyball friend is missing. You are missing the point. Completely missing the point of this movie. That's crazy. Like one of the major, like, it's not just about the American spirit, but the human spirit or whatever. Right. It's not just about like the human spirit. This movie, it's also about the fact that people actually need people. That's the point. You go insane. You go crazy. He had to make a friend so he wouldn't go completely nuts.
Showing what's happening today.
Yes. Yes. I mean, but that's the thing, is like he had to make a friend, someone he can talk to, relate with, and care about. Otherwise, he would not have made it. That's the point. And the fact that you missed that point is really sad. And the fact that you call it a comedy when something so introspective is being said.
Just going out of his way to insult a movie because he feels powerful.
I actually think he's insulting it because he didn't get it. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I agree that he also feels powerful, like you're saying, but I think he just didn't get it.
I work for the San Francisco Gate.
I think he just didn't understand it.
God.
I think he went in here and he's like, I don't get it. This is what I think of it. So I'm going to get mad and yell. Because you are literally the person who's like, who doesn't make a cake for people because you don't understand their relationship. That's who you are.
Uh-huh.
You're the person. You're the problem. You are the problem. I don't understand it, so it can't be good.
Yeah.
Such scenes are meant to highlight Chuck's desperation. Instead, they show the desperate lengths to which an actor will go in pursuit of another Oscar nomination. Do you really think that's why Tom Hanks makes movies? At this point, do you really?
That's why Leonardo DiCaprio was.
Right. I mean, that's just absolute nonsense.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, like prior to him getting his first Academy Award, I don't even think he was vying for one. He was making comedies. He was making romantic comedies. He made frickin' Big and Joe versus the Volcano and things like that. I don't even think he was going for it until he picked a big role and got one, or started picking big roles, and getting them. And after you get he did like 2 in a row, right? Philadelphia didn't he get Philadelphia and Forrest Gump like 2 in a row?
Was that?
I think so.
I don't remember. I'm not good at that particular.
But he got 2.
I'm not good at the Hanks line.
Yeah, I feel you. But I mean, I don't think he's like anything that'll give me an award. Anything that'll get me an award. At this point, I think he's like, I love this script. I want to make it.
Yeah.
Helen Hunt plays Kelly, the woman Chuck loves and hopes to see again. Hunt is down to earth, lovely and affecting, and her scenes with Hanks are the best in the picture. But the last part of the movie is so suffused in schmaltz and half-baked sad sack philosophy that it leaves Hunt with nothing to do but stand in admiration of our hero's quiet courage and nobility. How dare she respect the man she loves for coming through the hardest thing ever and making it. If she didn't look at him with admiration, that would be so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
If her look was like,
it's been months. Yeah, where's my dinner?
Yeah, that
take me out. Yeah,
or like you think you're so freaking special, don't you? That's ridiculous.
This trash has been piling up since you left.
Yeah, we're supposed to feel the same way about him. Forget it. I will not, and you can't make me. I can't even watch volleyball anymore. And it used to be my favorite sport. I have to skip that entire scene in Top Gun now. And now is the part of the show where we tell you some incredibly interesting fake facts about the movie Castaway.
Originally, the ball that Tom Hanks' character befriends was supposed to be a basketball. But the second the director heard how stupid yelling Spalding sounded, it was changed to a volleyball.
Hanks would not film until he learned how to make fire, putting the production behind 3 months because he couldn't quite get the hang of it.
The cast and crew would avoid Hanks on set at all costs because he would constantly annoy everyone with desert island questions. Like, if you were on a desert island and could only bring one Tom Hanks movie, which one would you bring?
This has been Fake Facts. And now, of course, it's time for Everybody Hates, the segment where we read audience reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. It's always fun to read these because audiences are so eloquent compared to critics. Way too long, not much of a story. A reminder that shit happens. Yep, don't need 2+ hours of a movie to tell me that. That's a weird takeaway from this movie.
Right?
Shit happens.
That's like every movie.
I understand that, but this is tragic.
I know.
This same guy probably watched Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List. Like, shit happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like this guy just doesn't like movies. Because every movie is shit happened. Dumb and Dumber. Shit happened.
Yeah. I'm just, if you're talking about like just bad things occurring to good people or whatever, like you are taking the wrong thing out of this movie for sure.
All right, next one. Feels like it's boring.
But I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. It just feels boring. I didn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a poster and it just feels boring.
And I'm going to a therapist now who's trying to help me trust my feelings. And so it's hard for me to truly believe it's boring, even though it feels boring.
Yeah. For those of you wondering that can't see what we're looking at, it's literally feels like it's boring.
That's it.
That's it. We fleshed it out.
Yeah. 1.5 stars. It doesn't even have a name or an avatar on there. That's it.
You know what? You feel boring.
It's anonymously put. even that's boring.
I know.
Everything's boring. The only thing not boring is the fact that there was a 0.5 star.
Right? It's like, ooh, different.
Ooh, weird. A very, very long FedEx commercial that unfortunately unabashedly undermined a potentially daring, terrifying, and courageous story. FedEx, some of our planes crash. How is it a FedEx commercial?
FedEx.
Are you kidding me?
Wouldn't it be weirder if a FedEx plane crashed and it was just a bunch of knockoff goods that kind of like they're like, it's like, hey, look, I found this sports ball made by Swipey.
Right?
You know?
I love the idea of someone like at FedEx answering the phone and just being like, oh, I'm sorry, you're waiting for a package? Mm-hmm. We're waiting for one of our employees.
Now listen here.
Who's got the issue? Who's got the issue?
Yeah, you feel bad now for calling in and bothering me on my day off.
This is more a commercial for UPS.
UPS, we'll get you your shit sometime.
Right. But at least our planes don't crash.
Because we have brown trucks. UPS. USPS does most of our work for us.
True enough.
Is it me this time?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I thought okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. The product placement in this movie was sickening.
Man, you should never watch a Michael Bay movie.
Just rewind what we just said.
Yeah. Also, just never watch a Michael Bay movie. You won't be able to deal with it. You will vomit. If it's actually sickening you, you'll be throwing up the second Transformers gets like 5 minutes in. Just vomit everywhere. You're gonna be like, if I see another fucking GM signal, I'm gonna, you gotta be, I think it's some Mountain Dew in the background. Oh god.
Huawei, no.
Awful movie. I only watched it until the end to see what was in that package he didn't open, and they don't even show it. Waste of my life. You know what's also really sad? That's why you watched to the end. Because you could have just skipped to the end and been like, I wonder what's in that package.
Yeah.
Let me skip to the end. Why'd you... That doesn't make any sense to watch the whole thing.
Well... To each their own.
Also, this movie isn't one of those oddly satisfying gifts that end too early.
I hate that.
I know. That's partially why I said it. I knew I'd get a rise out of you.
Give us a couple seconds after it's finished. Oddly satisfying.
Or at least finish it.
Yeah. The oddly satisfying part isn't the building of it. It's it's the like, oh, it's done. Next one. I always remember Castaway as being the most boring film I have ever seen. I find the Wilson part ridiculous and unbelievable. I felt like I was on a deserted island for a year. I kept waiting for anything to happen. Nothing against Tom Hanks, but I feel the story was weak. And no, I didn't feel sad. I just wanted him to die.
That's upsetting. That's a little upsetting. Also, it's kind of funny to like say the Wilson part is ridiculous and unbelievable when you sat down and went on to Rotten Tomatoes and you talked to no one.
We finally heard you.
Yeah, we finally heard you.
And telling you, the two people that read your review are telling you you're an idiot.
Yeah, you literally sat down and talked to nobody. So congratulations, you just made Castaway, starring yourself.
You also said 2 hours felt like a year.
Yeah.
Who's ridiculous now?
It's like you're on a desert island or something and you don't have any concept of time and you're trying to base it on the stars and the sun.
In your comfy seat in a dark theater that you paid $18 because you got popcorn.
That shit's getting expensive. You know, a long time ago, I would have not believed the Wilson part, but I also wouldn't have believed that popcorn would have been so expensive. But look where we are.
Yeah.
Look where we are.
The AMC has mac and cheese bites now.
and a pretzel the size of a steering wheel.
Which are the most reasonable things you can purchase.
I agree. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. The podcast is called Critique the Critics, and the YouTube channel, if you're watching instead of listening, is Boss Level 8.
But you already know that.
Well, if you're watching it, you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening, you might not.
No.
So you can see these on that channel as well. Wherever you are, if you could subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Like, comment in chat in there in the comments, and we'll see what you say. And you guys should chat with each other, and that's always a good thing. Mm-hmm. And until we see you guys next time, geek out and game on.
Bye.